Hello friends, in today's lecture we are going to learn about anti-depression drugs. But before that we will get a brief idea about depression, like what are the common signs and symptoms and pathophysiology of depression. Okay, so let's start. Now, what is affect? Affect means mood or emotion. So that means affective disorder are mood disorders such as depression, in which there is a decrease in mood, mania means increase in mood, or bipolar affective disorder, in which patient experience the cycles of depression as well as mania. Okay. So you can see here, this is normal mood level. In depression there is a decreased mood level. Right. Right. Now depression is not uniform. Everyone does not experience the same sign and symptoms. The severity, duration, and the triggers of one's symptom depend on the individual person and his or her illness. Clinical symptoms of depression. Depression is characterized by loss of pleasure, loss of energy, social withdrawal, psychomotor retardation or agitation, insomnia, loss of appetite, decreased hygiene, crying spell, difficulty in concentrating, indecisiveness, sad thoughts or thoughts of suicide. Patient feels hopelessness, helplessness, guilt or shame. So these are the common clinical symptoms of depression. Now, when we say the patient is suffering from depression, when symptoms last for more than 2 weeks of single episode, right? So then and then only we can say the patient is suffering from depression. Now, depression may be secondary to some organic problems like hypothyroidism, dementia, or anemia. It may be due to psychiatric problems like schizophrenia, drug abuse, anxiety disorder, or with the use of depression drugs such as alcohol. Now comes to pathophysiology of depression. Depression is mainly due to dysregulation of serotonin and or noradrenaline, right? So in depression the level of both serotonin and noradrenaline is decreased. Now comes to medication of depression or antidepressant drugs, right? So first of all, the aim of treatment of depression is to stabilize and normalize the neurotransmitter in brain. As we have seen, depression is mainly due to dysregulation of these neurotransmitters, right? So we have to stabilize and normalize neurotransmitter in our brain. Neurotransmitters such as serotonin, dopamine and norepinephrine play a role in regulating our mood. Now, classification of antidepressant drug. First group is reversible MAO inhibitors like moclobemide and chlorgeline. Second group, tricyclic antidepressant known as TCAs. It is divided into two groups, noradrenaline and 5-HT reuptake inhibitors like imipramine, amitriptyline, doxepin, dothepin, clomipramine. And second subgroup is noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors like desimipramine, nortriptyline and amoxapine. Third group is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or SSRIs such as fluoxetine, fluoxamine, sertraline, citalopram, escitalopram and depoxetine. Then serotonin and noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors, SNRIs such as venlafaxine and duloxetine. And last group is atypical antidepressant which includes trazodone, mianserin, mirtazapine, bupropion, tianeptine, amineptine, and atomoxetine. Now, causes of depression and mechanism of anti-depression drugs. First theory is known as monoamine theory. Right? Uh, there are neurotransmitters like adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine, and 5-HT or serotonin, which are known as biogenic amines. Now, the neurons containing these neurotransmitters are known as noradrenergic, serotonergic, or dopaminergic neurons. Normally, noradrenaline and 5-HT are in adequate numbers at postsynaptic region, but in case of depression, there is a deficiency of noradrenaline or 5-HT or both. So the drug act by increasing the local availability of noradrenaline or serotonin. First group is MAO inhibitors or monoamino oxidase inhibitors. MAO is a mitochondrial enzyme involved in oxidative deamination of these amines. There are two types of MAO inhibitors: MAO-A, which is present in peripheral nerve endings, intestine and placenta, and is responsible for metabolism of 5-HT and noradrenaline. Second is MAO-B, present in brain and platelet and mainly in serotonergic neurons. It metabolizes phenylalanine. So, selective MAO-A inhibitors have anti-depression properties because it is responsible for metabolism of serotonin and noradrenaline, which decrease in case of depression. Second group is tricyclic antidepressant. Noradrenaline, serotonin, and dopamine are present in nerve ending. Normally, there are reuptake mechanisms, and it leads to termination of action of that particular neurotransmitter. So, tricyclic antidepressant inhibit the reuptake and make more monoamines available for their action. Next is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Serotonin also reuptake by nerve terminals. So SSRIs inhibit the reuptake mechanism and make more 5-HT available for its action. You can see here in the figure. So a neuron release neurotransmitter which act on postsynaptic receptors. Right? After their action, the neurotransmitter undergo either degradation or reuptake mechanism. Right? Both these mechanism leads to termination of action of neurotransmitter. Right? So antidepressant drugs either inhibit their degradation or inhibit reuptake mechanism, and ultimately they increase the amount of neurotransmitter into synapse. Right? Now, MAO inhibitors, there are two types: irreversible and reversible. Irreversible isocarboxide, iproniazid, phenazine, trenylcypromine, and reversible are moclobemide and chlorgeline. Not popular now except reversible selective MAO inhibitors because of they require strict dietary restriction, they have irreversible action, more chances of drug-drug interaction, and nowadays safer drugs are available. Major drawbacks of MAO inhibitors: manic state or hypertensive crisis, cheese reaction, and other drug interaction. Now, what is cheese reaction? Certain varieties of cheese, beers, wines, pickle meat, and fish yeast extract contain large quantities of tyramine and dopa. Right? So, in MAO inhibited patient, this indirectly acting sympathomimetic amines escape degradation in the intestinal wall and liver, which so they reach into systemic circulation. They displace and release large amount of noradrenaline from transmitter loaded adrenergic nerve terminals, which lead to hypertensive crisis. It can be treated by IV injection of rapidly acting alpha blockers, for example phentolamine, prazosin or chlorpromazine, which are the alternatives. Now important drug-drug interaction of MAO inhibitors. With ephedrine, it produces hypertensive reaction. With reserpine and guanethidine, it produces excitement, rise in blood pressure, rise in body temperature due to their initial noradrenaline release or uptake blocking action. With levodopa, produce excitement and rise in blood pressure as it increase there is increase in biological plasma half-life of noradrenaline and dopa that are produced from levodopa because of delayed degradation of noradrenaline and dopamine. With anti-Parkinsonian anticholinergics, hallucinations and symptoms similar to those of atropine poisonings. With barbiturate, alcohol, opioids and antihistaminics, action of this drug is intensified and prolonged. Also respiration may fail. MAO inhibitors and SSRIs, they produce serotonin syndrome, which is characterized by mental confusion, hallucination, sweating, hyperthermia, twitching of muscle, clonus and convulsion. MAO inhibitors with pethidine produce high fever, sweating, excitation, delirium, convulsion and severe respiratory depression have occurred. MAO inhibitors retard hydrolysis of pethidine but not its demethylation, so excess of norpethidine is produced which has excitatory actions. Now moclobemide, it is a reversible and selective MAO inhibitor. Potentiation of pressure response to dietary amine is weak. Dietary restriction is not required with moclobemide. Lack of anticholinergic, sedative, cognitive and serious adverse effect. It is used in elderly patients with heart disease, mild to moderate depression. It is alternative to tricyclic antidepressant, and the dose is 150 mg twice or 3 times a day, and maximally you can give 600 mg per day. Now action of tricyclic antidepressant. First, antidepressant action. It inhibits reuptake of serotonin and or noradrenaline into neurons. So they increase availability of serotonin and noradrenaline at their presynaptic receptors. It takes at least 2 to 3 weeks to produce their antidepressant actions. They also lowers seizure threshold, so they precipitate seizures. Also produce alpha-1 receptor blockade, which leads to postural hypotension and reflex tachycardia. Also cause muscarinic receptor blockade, which causes anticholinergic action like dryness of mouth, blur vision, constipation, urinary retention. Another action is H1 blockade, which is responsible for its antihistaminic action such as sedation. Now adverse drug reaction of tricyclic antidepressant mainly cause sedation, mental confusion, cognitive and psychomotor impairment. It is seen with amitriptyline and more sedative congeners. It lowers seizure threshold, so precipitate seizures, especially in children. Bupropion, clomipramine, amoxapine have greater propensity to lower seizure threshold. Desipramine, SSRIs and SNRIs are safer in this regard. Due to alpha-1 blockade, produce side effects such as postural hypotension, reflex tachycardia and cardiac arrhythmia. Muscarinic receptor blockade leads to anticholinergic side effects like dryness of mouth, blur vision, constipation, urinary retention. Histaminic receptor blockade produce sedation. It also increase appetite and weight gain. So most tricyclic antidepressant and trazodone, but not with SSRIs, SNRIs and bupropion. Right. Now the SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Advantage of SSRIs are there is no sedation, no cognitive and psychomotor impairment, no anticholinergic side effects, no alpha blocking property, no cardiac arrhythmia, no seizure precipitation, no weight gain. Adverse drug reaction of SSRIs commonly produce nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, sexual dysfunction, impotence, loss of libido, insomnia, loss of appetite and weight loss. They are commonly used for depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, bulimia, buying kleptomania, panic disorder, phobia and post-traumatic stress disorder. Now atypical antidepressant drugs. First is trazodone. It is the first atypical antidepressant drug. Less efficiently blocks 5-HT reuptake and has prominent alpha adrenergic and weak 5-HT2 antagonistic action. But it does not have anticholinergic action, produce no arrhythmia, no seizure. Common adverse drug reaction are priapism and postural hypotension. Second is meanserin. It is unique in non-inhibiting either noradrenaline or serotonin uptake, but blocks presynaptic alpha-2 receptor. Thereby, it increases release and turnover of noradrenaline in brain, which is responsible for its antidepressant effect. It has antagonistic action at 5-HT2, 5-HT1C as well as H1 receptor. It is a sedative, so relieves associated anxiety and suppress panic attacks. Common adverse drug reactions are seizure, overdose, and blood dyscrasias and liver dysfunction. Next atypical antidepressant drug is mirtazapine. It acts by novel mechanism, that is, it blocks alpha-2 autoreceptor present on noradrenal neurons and heteroreceptor present on 5-HT neurons, enhancing both noradrenaline and serotonin release. The augmented noradrenaline further increase firing of serotonergic raphe neurons via alpha-1 receptor. Selective enhancement of antidepressive 5-HT1 receptor action is achieved by counter blockade of 5-HT2 and 5-HT3 receptors, which held responsible for some adverse effect of high serotonergic tone. It is also known as noradrenergic and specific serotonergic antidepressant. Mirtazapine is H1 blocker and moderately strong sedative, but only mildly antimuscarinic and not anti-dopaminergic. Give once daily at bedtime. It is particularly suitable for those with insomnia. Common adverse drug reactions is increased appetite and weight gain. Next is bupropion. It inhibits dopamine and noradrenaline uptake, so has excitant rather than sedative property. It is metabolized into an amphetamine-like compound which can cause presynaptic release of dopamine and noradrenaline. A sustained release formulation is marketed as an aid to smoking cessation. The nicotine withdrawal symptoms are less severe in bupropion recipient. Common adverse drug reactions are insomnia, agitation, dry mouth, nausea and seizure. Dose is 150 mg twice a day, but it should not be exceeded beyond 150 mg BD. Contraindication: eating disorder and in bipolar illness. Now, uses of antidepressant drug. First use is endogenous major depression. In this condition, the aim of therapy is to relieve symptoms of depression and restore normal social behavior. SSRIs or SNRIs or atypical antidepressant are now more easily prescribed in depressive illness. Major depression clearly requires antidepressant medication, and these drugs are often proven value, but response takes at least 2 to 3 weeks to appear. Full benefit takes still longer. Now, choice of particular drug for an individual patient depends on secondary properties such as sedative, anticholinergic, hypotensive, cardiotoxic, or seizure precipitating properties, etc., and the past history of drug response if available. The selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors are currently used as first choice for their better tolerability, safety, and maybe higher efficacy as well. The SNRIs and newer atypical agents also offer advantages. The only antidepressant clearly shown to be effective in juvenile depression are fluoxetine and sertraline. The tricyclic antidepressants are now used only as alternative in non-responsive cases and in those not tolerating the second generation antidepressant. Substituting a drug with a different pattern of aminergic action may succeed in non-responsive cases. However, few patients fail any single antidepressant. In such cases, augmenting the initially selected drug, usually SSRI, with atypical antidepressant like bupropion or with valproate or lithium is an option. Another option is to add a second generation antipsychotic drug in refractory cases. Psychotic depression needs to be treated with combination of SSRI with an atypical antipsychotic like olanzapine, aripiprazole, or quetiapine. In case of bipolar depression, it is essential to combine the antidepressant such as SSRI, SNRI, TCA, or atypical antidepressant with valproate or lithium or lamotrigine to avoid the risk of switching over to mania. After a depressive episode has been controlled, continued treatment at maintenance doses for months is recommended to prevent relapse. Discontinuation of the antidepressant may be attempted after 6 to 12 months. Long-term therapy may be needed in patients who tend to relapse. Electroconvulsive therapy or ECT may be given in the severely depressed, especially initially, while the effect of antidepressant is developing. Because no antidepressant has been clearly demonstrated to act fast enough to prevent suicide. Moclobemide, which is a reversible inhibitor of MAO-A, is relatively well tolerated option for mild to moderate depression and atypical depression. It is less risky than TCA for patients with cardiovascular risk factor. Second use is obsessive compulsive disorder. The SSRIs, particularly fluoxamine, are the drug of choice due to better patient acceptabilities. Tricyclic antidepressants, especially clomipramine, are also highly effective in obsessive compulsive disorder. Over 50% patients obtain significant improvement in OCD rating scale, but longer response time of 2 to 3 months and relatively higher dose are generally needed than for depression. SSRIs and tricyclic antidepressants also reduce compulsive eating in bulimia and help patients with body dysmorphic disorder, compulsive buying, and kleptomania, though this habit may not be completely die. Next is anxiety disorder. Antidepressant, especially SSRIs and SNRIs, exert a delayed but sustained beneficial effect in many patients of social anxiety and generalized anxiety disorder. They may be used along with short course of benzodiazepine which act rapidly to cover the exacerbation. They have also proven helpful in phobic disorder, long-term treatment of panic attacks, and in post-traumatic stress disorder. Mood swings and hot flushes in menopausal women may be partly relieved by certain SSRIs when HRT is contraindicated. Next use is neuropathic pain. Amitriptyline and other tricyclic antidepressants afford considerable relief in diabetic and some other types of chronic pain. Amitriptyline reduces intensity of post-herpetic neuralgia in 50% of patients. The SSRIs are less effective in these conditions. Duloxetine, which is a SNRI, is now the first line drug for diabetic neuropathy, fibromyalgia, etc. Other drugs useful in neuropathy pain are pregabalin and gabapentin. Combination of duloxetine with pregabalin may work if monotherapy is not satisfactory. Next use is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD in children. TCA with less depression properties like imipramine, nortriptyline and amoxapine are now first line drug in this disorder. Comparable in efficacy to amphetamine like drugs with advantage of less fluctuating action and fewer behavioral side effects. Atomoxetine is NA receptor inhibitor unrelated to both TCA as well as amphetamine, which is used specifically in ADHD. Next use is migraine. Amitriptyline has some prophylactic value, especially in patients with mixed headache. Then enuresis. In children above 5 years, imipramine 25 mg at bedtime is effective, but bedwetting may again start when the drug is stopped. Elderly subjects with bedwetting have also benefited. Next use is premature ejaculation. It refers to repeated occurrences of ejaculation before or shortly after penetration or with minimal sexual stimulation. It is a very common sexual complaint which is often interpreted as sexual weakness and can cause considerable distress and dissatisfaction in the patient as well as in his partner. Most SSRIs and some tricyclic antidepressants, especially clomipramine, have the common property of delaying and in some cases inhibiting ejaculation. The primary treatment of premature ejaculation is counseling and behavioral therapy, but this can be supplemented by drugs. Duloxetine is a SSRI which has been specifically introduced for this purpose. It acts rapidly. 60 mg taken 1 hour before intercourse has helped many subjects. Clomipramine 10 to 25 mg 3 times a day is a slow acting drug which needs to be taken regularly for maximum benefit, and for on demand use 25 mg may be taken 6 hours before sex. Next use is pruritus. Some tricyclic antidepressants have antipruritic action. Topical doxepin has been used to relieve itching in atopic dermatitis and lichen simplex, etc. Now, last use of antidepressant drug is smoking cessation. Only bupropion is approved as an aid to smoking cessation, though some tricyclic antidepressants have also been found to reduce craving. So that is all about antidepressant drug. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.